Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you the daily word for men for March 6, 2025, Thursday. And the word for today is Heir, Heir. Since we are his true children, we qualify to share all his treasures. For indeed, we are heirs of God himself. And since we are joined to Christ, we also inherit that he is in all that he has. We will experience being co-glorified with him, provided that we accept his sufferings as our own. And that is from Romans 8:17, TPT. I actually don't know what TPT stands for. When a person dies and there is not a living relative to claim the inheritance, or the state cannot find one, the inheritance goes to the state. Currently, some states have over $2 billion in unclaimed funds. That seems like a great deal of work and wealth stored up for nothing. It is sad to think of resources not being used by the families who should have them. The deceased worked to build up treasures and wealth only to have it go nowhere. That's disappointing. God also had great wealth. He has stored it up for us. How sad that we should squander this life away and not receive it. Let us men make sure that we are preparing our hearts and those we lead to receive the inheritance of our Father. Our Father worked so hard to provide. We are heirs of a much greater reward than anything this life can give. And the question for us is, where or who do you look to for your inheritance? Well, inheritance was settled when my father died in 1998 and my mother in 2013. And my dad, 1998, he had never moved to cassettes. He was 8-track tapes. And I got him all the old radio serials that I could find, and I could do for birthday, for Christmas. He loved them. His wife liked to, my parents got divorced. His wife liked to go to Montreal with this group of girlfriends. And so he called me over and said, come on, we'll have a guy's night. And he'd listen to those things, turn the lights off, and he really, really enjoyed it. Well, all my brothers and sisters are younger than me, and none of them had any desire at all to even listen to any of that stuff. I loved it myself, and I inherited that. And he loved boats, and I inherited all the ones that I bought him. It came back to me. And this is an interesting thing. He had a Bible. He spent a lot of money for it, but he loved it. It had old illustrations, wood graving. It was quite the thing. And just before he went in the hospital, where he would eventually die, he became septic. He put it back in the box, and when he died, we divided all the stuff his wife didn't want up. She was the first to pick. My parents had divorced, and no one wanted the Bible. It just sat there. And his wife was Armenian. She had an beautiful Armenian Bible. So she said, you can have it. I have one. I said, okay. And, in between chapters and stuff, he put $100 bills, and there was a note in there. And he said, Joe, I knew you would get this. Thanks for all the help you've been to me. And please take care of my wife. And So I inherited that Bible with all the money in it. I'm sure my brothers and sisters were like, when my mom died, before she died, she talked to me. She says, I don't have that much. She says, but I got the house. And she says, I'm going to leave it to your two sisters. She says, they work hard, but they don't make much money. She says, you're all set. I said, sure, Ma, that's fine with me. I got everything I need. I don't, give it to everyone else. And that's what she did. So my sisters are still living in that house. It's a multi-story family house and right in Providence, and they have that. Well, I didn't. I didn't need it, first of all, and I wouldn't want it to have lived there. I was out in the country. I had 5.5 acres of land, and it was nice. And another incident happened to me. I had an uncle who was in the Merchant Marines who, after World War II, settled in Hawaii. And he was very mad at my mother for getting married at 17 and having 10 kids. He didn't think it was right. So he would never see any of us. He wouldn't talk to my mother. He talked to my Aunt Margaret. And I went out to Hawaii thinking that he would see me, and he wouldn't. He would not see me. I was his oldest nephew, but his wife, my aunt, took me out to dinner by herself and said how much he had followed my swimming career and all these different things about me that were in the paper. And I said, and he couldn't see me. She told me he was locked into that idea. But when he died, out of the blue, I got a check for $15,000. I never ever expected it from him at all. I had tried, to meet him and talk to him, not for any monetary gain, just to see my oldest uncle, my mother's oldest brother. And I can't believe that, he did that. No message, nothing, just a check from the attorney. So it must have been in his will. But the ultimate inheritance that we look to is we look to God for our inheritance. Because all of this earthly stuff is chump change. Someone else is going to own it when we die. You got a nice car. You bought it when you were elderly. Someone's going to be driving that, not you. You got a nice bank account. Someone's going to be spending that money, and it won't be you. But the gifts from God, no one can appropriate. They're for us, they're from Him, and they're eternal. So I don't worry about inheriting things in this earth. It doesn't. I'm 75. I won't be around in 75 years. So someone will probably get this house. Someone will get my camera, my phone, my camera. Someone will probably get my cat. I got him when I was 71, and if he lives to be as old as the other cats I've had, 19, I'll be 90. I don't know if I'll ever make that. If I do, great. I thank God. And he will be my final cat. He's full of energy. He's going to be 4 years old in June. But I look forward to our heavenly rewards that we get as being children of God and believers in Jesus Christ. So, God bless. Have a safe and holy Thursday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.